Hello everybody, Liz Campbell here, the word stylist, and welcome to your mini training on how to write content using my word styling hourglass figure that is trademarked. Now, you are going to need to know this as you're writing your posts during the 5-day social media SOS content writing challenge. And this is the structure. This is the structure for all content: headline, lead, body, call to action. It doesn't matter what kind of content you are writing: email, series, website page, blog, social media post, newsletter, promotion post, whatever it is, it follows this structure. The only thing that changes a little bit is within the body. So, the body of a story will be the same structure as this, but it'll have a different structure in the body. The structure of a newsletter is going to be the same hourglass figure style, however the body of the newsletter will be different. Does that make sense? All right, let's break it down. Okay, so your headline has to be short and sweet, no more than 10 words, and usually a how-to or a numbered list or a why headline works really well. And this is where it's really important to know your business besties, like the beautiful Yanya here that you see on your screen. Yanya was my very first business bestie in WOW School. She was the one that purchased everything that I had on offer. She, loved everything that we did. She shared our stuff. She paid me on time or in advance. She was just the best. Now, as I was looking at her social media profile, I saw this photo here and it says, always be you. And I was like, that's actually really cool words that I could use and do a blog on, or a social media post or something along those lines in the future. So the example that I'm going to share with you today, I'm just going to come back to this, always be you, so that you can see how the content journey starts for somebody on the other end reading it. Now, your headline, a how-to headline using always be you, simply how to always be you in business. So, that's a very easy one. The numbered list, 10 ways to always be yourself in business. And I say business because Yanya's in business, her people are business people, and what I'm teaching is in business. However, you guys put in whatever industry you're in: health, wealth, wellness, whatever it is. Okay, now a why headline. Why it's always important to be yourself in business. So you can see how different but similar they actually are. So just make sure that you are keeping them short and sweet, and you use a headline or words that are really punchy, because this is the bit that stops people. This is the bit that gets them in. The picture will, stop them scrolling to have a look at it, and then it's the headline that gets them in. So as people are scrolling through their social media, it'll be something like that, how to always be yourself, or how to always be yourself and not an imposter in business, because imposter syndrome is a huge problem. Okay, the lead sentence. Wouldn't you love to just feel like this lady here in the chair going, yes, I found exactly what I need. My problems are solved. Isn't it the best? That's how people are going to feel when they start reading your content, because the way that we will write this week is that we're solving problems. We're helping people with any issues and challenges that they've got. We're just really going to be there for them in the content, and that's going to build super trust. Okay, so the lead sentence, I always try and be a little bit different with my lead sentences, simply because there's so much content out there that we really do want to make sure that we are looking after people and that we're speaking their language, which is why it's important to know your business bestie and their wow words, and why I'm using the example always be you. So let's start with a did you know headline. So some of lead. Some of the lead sentences that I use are did you knows, little stories, inspirational quotes, business problems or challenges, or just your keyword and problems or challenges, those words. I also love to use trivia, fast facts, fun facts. What else do I use? Anything that's like a little hook, anything to do with time, money, and resources, and you'll have people engaged straight away. So let's start with a did you know? Did you know that 76% of all small business owners suffer from imposter syndrome? I just made that statistic up, but that is one way that you can use, come back to your headline. I've got the best tips on how to always be yourself in business so that you never feel like an imposter, a fraud, or a fake, and you're always sharing your best information or something along those lines, right? So that's as easy as it gets for writing a lead sentence. Another one that I use is a statistic. Statistics are very engaging because we put ourselves in the category of, am I in the statistic? Am I a statistic or am I not a statistic? Am I in this percentage or am I not in this percentage? So then we can base our decision on, oh yeah, I actually am in this percentage. I need to read this thing. All right. So your lead sentence, my friends, is so important. It compels people to want to read on into the body, and it takes them on the journey. And quite simply, that's all it is. It's one sentence. However, you will have lead sentences. So the sentences leading on after that are going to round out what your piece of content is about. So start to think now about explaining what's going to be in your content. So the first 3 sentences are really just that lead sentence, trying to compel people, trying to get them in to, make them feel like that you can solve their problem and help them feel like this lady in the picture, because that's honestly, it's like a moment. They are going to absolutely love you. Okay. The body. We want people to fall in love with the body of your content. Now, the reason why it is an hourglass figure is because it's sucked in there at the middle. At the body, you need to always make sure that your content is short and sweet. It can be long, but your sentences and your paragraphs are short and sweet. There's no fluffiness, there's no waffling. It's all just really great information, really valuable, useful, and helpful information that people will be able to get the answers that they want. Now, remember like what it feels like when you are scrolling through content and all you want is a quick answer. You've got a problem or you've got a thing that you need to fix, and all you need is a quick answer and you can't find it. How frustrating is that? The best thing that you can do is give as much information in a concise way as you possibly can to help your business besties. Now, some of the things you need to remember when it comes to your body: short, sweet sentences and paragraphs, using dot points to break up the text, and then even, making sure that you have some little subheaders in there. You can use emojis if your people love emojis. They don't love emojis on LinkedIn, so it might be an area that you go, okay, emojis for Facebook and Instagram and no emojis for LinkedIn. You guys will have to figure the tone out for your LinkedIn people if that's where you're going to be, simply because they're not as conversational and chatty in a casual way as they are on Facebook or Instagram. You're really going to have that professional edge and tone to your content, simply because that's what LinkedIn is all about. It's very professional. They want the information. They don't want the fluffiness. They definitely don't want to see what you're having for breakfast. They want to know how breakfast can help them build a multi-million-dollar company. Okay, so that's the difference between them. Now, going back to our example, always be yourself, the body content will explain how you'll always be yourself. So something, like some steps or some tips. So if you're suffering from imposter syndrome, I have these 5 tips that are going to help you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then explain what those tips are. The same with whatever piece of content you are writing. And we're going to go through this in our challenges. Like every day, I'm going to have a structure for you to go through. We'll be following this hourglass figure. However, I'll actually have scripted templates for you for the specific post that we're going to be writing. Okay, so stories are a huge way to get engagement on your social media posts and in any other form of content, simply because they're memorable and we can relate to them. We can always put ourselves into the story. So if we're reading something that you've put out there and you are being raw and honest about it and telling us how it made you feel and telling us your story around it, then we're going to fall in love with you more. We're going to trust you more because you've been there. So if you've been there and you're sharing this story about, just say, again, about imposter syndrome or about being yourself in business, we're going to take that with more heart and soul simply because you've done it. So please, my friends, share your stories. It really builds a connection and it starts to get that relationship happening. But most of all, it shows that you are human. And that is the bit, that's the connection bit that joins us together. That's the bit where people will go, oh, I only want to work with you now. Oh, I'm working with you because you said that thing. It happened to me the other day. A woman shared a story with me and I was like, okay, you totally get me. I'm going to work with you, and signed up with her. And that's the thing about sharing your stories, or just sharing client stories or success stories, or sharing stories that solve the problem. So we really have to be very focused on solving problems, helping people with their issues and then their challenges, helping them avoid mistakes. That sort of content is the real engaging content, and then you supercharge the engagement through your stories and the way that you write it. Moving on, our final point in our beautiful hourglass figure there for writing content is your call to action. If you don't have a call to action, you will look like this lady, and you don't want to feel like that. Please make sure that you have calls to action on every post. You don't have to put a call to action on your breakfast smoothie post, but please remember that we are doing this challenge for 5 days with the view to getting more engagement and basically more opportunities. So more sales, more leads, more clients, more speaking gigs, more interviews in the media, whatever it is for you, more people signing up to your list, whatever it is, please this week. And from 95% of the time, just have a call to action. The other ones you won't have to. If you're just sharing a pool pic or you're out for a walk or anything like that, totally fine. But when it comes to the business and getting sales and wanting to increase that engagement, you need a call to action on every business post that you do. And the call to action, simply for our example around being yourself, is going to be something like, if you're suffering imposter syndrome, or you feel like a fake or a fraud and you just know that you're not being yourself, there is help available. Get in touch with us here. Now, the thing with your call to action is that you don't leave them hanging. Have a call to action and direct them in the way that you want them to go. But also have a call to action that speaks their language, and please have a link to a landing page or a sign-up page or the blog or whatever it is that you are sharing. If you don't have a link, that's totally fine. Don't worry about that. You don't need it, but you need to tell them to private message you or, something along those lines. Not even an email. It's an extra step. They just don't do it. So think about how you can engage them in the app that you're in, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever that is. Just say something like, PM me and we can have a chat about it, or PM me with your questions, or you've got this offer and it's $500 as an introductory course, and to get the application package, PM me, or whatever it is. So you must make sure now that your offer is going to be included in your call to action, and we're going to talk more about that in your day one content that will be available for you now in the membership site, and the same every day you'll be using that same offer. And that is it, my friends. I now release you out into the big wide world to go and write your dreams. I will see you in the Facebook group for the 5-day social media SOS content writing challenge. I'm so excited for you. It is going to be